Hello, everybody. Grab your coffee and pull up your chair. It's time for Human Animal Audit Corner. Today, we are going to talk about the mental status of people's mental health while being a cult, including Scientology. And we're going to go behind the scenes of what's going on in Aaron Smith Levin's case. So, we are going to still do this base. So let's get started. I did the black outline, as you can see, but I have to do the colors. So let's just get started. So now I'm going to do the green. All right. And guess what, guys? I have to also do this green, even though it's a shoddy color, to bring out the other green that's hiding under this shoddy paint. So let's try it again. All right, there we go. Now, let's see. Let's start with the yellow. So, we all know mental health is a serious condition in a person's nervous system. So, now what is there to do if they're in a cult, if a person's in a cult? Of course, we all know cults are a control group that interferes with a person's everyday thinking. Scientology, and we all know that if somebody is being brainwashed, they're breaking the law. But in some cases, you can use it in one of the states in this country. Which one? It can be anyone. If a person is a licensed therapist and is using it for the person's well-being, then it's a hard process to go through. Some states allow it, but otherwise some states don't. So which states actually allow? Well, that I'm going to have to look up. I should have been better prepared, but in most cases, it looks like people can use it, because I don't know if it changed, but in the past, people could use it for losing weight, to get rid of a habit. And of course, they have to see a mental health professional for that. And since Scientology doesn't really have a license to do that, they can't use it. And none of the people you see in Scientology have a license to treat anybody. And it does affect their mental health. And of course, if it was to be used on me, I would I would really be affected by all of this if someone was to use it on me. So, how do we find out that it's legal to use? If your healthcare provider is could legally use it, ask them. But if you have the funny feeling inside of you, go to this go to the state and file a complaint. Or to check and ask, you can do that too. But however, none of Scientology counselors have any kind of training in mental health whatsoever. So, this is the question to ask. They also have slave labor to contribute, and that will affect them as well. Because with me, mental health condition, I didn't work slave labor, but I worked a job in a nursing home where I work in all parts of the kitchen, and there's no group, certain a group, to actually cover one area. So they ended up using the people that was there, and there's not enough of us to cover it. So we have to do each and every one of those chores every day. And since I did work a full-time job, I went into meltdown. I tried to work a full-time job. Didn't work out for me. I worked past 40 hours. So I went into meltdown. Now, if a person does that, either they'll yell or scream, like I would do, because that's what I did at the age of 28 when I was working at a nursing home. Of course, I went into meltdown. I started yelling and screaming. But then after I got fired, I actually calmed down, went to a part time job, and it did work out for me there because I did not have all the stress riding on top of me. So I didn't feel it either. Was I being a jerk? Yeah, sometimes I was, telling you the truth. So it just worked out for me. But now the laws are changing. Now they consider 30 hours to be full time. You know how weird it gets with politicians. So this would be the most weirdest thing. But anyhow, when a person is working and goes into meltdown and tried their best at a full-time job, then there's nothing they can do. And it looks like they would have to work a part-time job or have some kind of side business. But it has to be legal. And guess what? Sometimes somebody breaks a law. But anyhow, we're talking about Scientology. But however, when they have them as volunteers, it'd be worse. As you've seen in Elisa McPherson and Whitney Mills case. In Whitney Mills' case, she was begging for help. But none of them would even listen or send them off to a mental health care facility. So, as she was begging for help, she takes her own life. And in that contract that she signed, she says she can't turn in any Scientologists. But since her parents were not Scientologists, they ended up dragging Scientology to court. So, and now Whitney Mills's family settled out of court, and it looks like they agreed not to talk about it, because guess what? They're not popping up anywhere talking about it. So I guess they kept their word. But with Scientology, money's no object, because guess what? They take money from their wealthy donors, including the celebrities that are in there, and use it, even though they think it's going into a worthy cause, which it isn't. So, and finally in Lisa McPherson's case, she got into a car accident. She took off her clothes and started walking down the street naked, because guess what? She wanted help. She voiced it. And it was being fulfilled. She was at the hospital in the psych unit. Scientology came in, took her out of the hospital, and had her in locked up at the Fort Harrison Hotel. They locked her up for 14 days. They starved her. At one point, she said she was L. Ron Hubbard. And the room was a huge mess. There was feces all over the wall. And it was a huge mess. Then finally, she collapsed. They picked her up and drove her to the hospital. But however, while she was locked up, there were people there that didn't speak English, so she did not have a chance to say anything to them. So they took her to the hospital. They passed 4 hospitals until they got to David Menkoff, who is a Scientologist. And by the time they got her to him, she was dead. So that's an example of what control groups do. Now, there was a big lawsuit. Scientology even had criminal charges against them. But it looks like they managed to pay off the coroner and had them change it. And once you know it, coroner retired and with a great amount of money. However, his father locked it up in the trunk of his car. And David Miscavige and his sister was involved. He stated that his drugs were missing, somebody took it, and his mother was looking for it. And they found out literally somebody took the drugs he took the drugs out of the house and locked it in his car. Of course, we all know he died tragically to a gunshot wound. That's another example. He was taking medication, but it was taken from him. And every single day, a Scientologist would die from a gunshot wound to the head. And they would also die from cancer. Latest victim was Kirstie Alley, the recent victim. They wouldn't let her get her cancer treated. She developed stage 4 cancer and died. They made her suffer, according to Joy Vila. Okay. And then I'm going to come here. I smoothed it out a bit and got rid of the streaks. Now, with this, painting this, at least we know it's a color. But however, it does leave streaks. So I'm going to fix it a little by using downward strokes, going down like this. All right. And then, of course, we all know Liz Gale came out and talked about her brother who died from suicide. And of course, her situation wasn't even better. Her parents decided to disconnect from her because of Hubbard's policies. There we go. It's okay. Fixed it. But is it? Okay, well, looks like there are a little better paints, but at least you can tell it's a color. So I'm going to go on to the next color. I'm going to go on to the next flower. Now you can see I have streaks, so I have to fix that. Alrighty. But once a person leaves, oh, before I get to that story, I had a young boy. I'm not going to go by what he actually or what his screen name is. I won't share that because we don't want Scientology to mess with him. So I'll keep it to myself. He expressed that his parents are in Scientology and it's literally affecting his mind. So I literally told him, I'm not going to say who. I told him if he has a relative or friend that would take him in, go for help, even though Clearwater Police and the FBI is not laying one finger to help. And they did report it. I mean, with the kid I'm talking about, I don't know whether he reported. I got one so mixed up. Let me finish talking about that kid. Now, is that kid still in Scientology? I don't know. Hopefully, he found his way out. Oops. He or she. I'm not going to discuss who. And I'm not going to discuss the screen name either because we want that kid protected. So, okay. Now we're going to go around in a circle. And it looks like I have to do this over again. So I'll do it. Okay, that was easy. And I'm going to go down with this. Black on the outside. So I'm going to go on to the next one. And I'm going to use a smaller brush for the curve that's on the side. So I'm going to go down like so. There it is. I'm going to turn my brush. Go down like this. All right. Now, okay. And now I'm going to come here. Oh, wait, I got to finish this one first. I'm going to go down. Fix that up there. It looks like I'm going to curve right here. Yeah, since this is a shoddy paint, I had to actually do it all over again. So I am going to come back here. And paint over here again. Looks like I'll leave that alone. All right, and there it was. Now I'm going to do that one. There. Now, since Mother's Day coming up, you can use a project like a vase for a gift. And all next week, I will be bringing you my kitchen to make Mother Day's brunches and meals. So, and let's see if I can find something else and bring it to the crafts table. All right. Now I'm going to go back to the care. Oh, okay. So, and of course, could it affect a relationship? Even though I'm not a counselor or a licensed therapist or a marriage counsel, go to a mental health professional. I'm not a mental health professional. Okay. Now I'm going to go here. Oh, and fix this. This one's definitely crummy, so let me do this. Now we're going to squeeze it in here. And I'm going to go across. Okay. I'm going to dip into this again. All right. Go up. Here we go. And I'm going to go down here. Go paint across. All right. Now I'm going to carefully go paint it across. There we go. Did it work out? Well, it's okay, but I'm also going to take a smaller brush and go over those lines right there. All right. Yeah, it's leaving streaks, so you're going to want to avoid this paint if you're an artist. Now, it probably could work well on a canvas since it has the chemicals for it, but I don't think it can go good on glass. I'm sorry, everybody. On tin, I haven't even tried it. So, okay. Now we're going to go here and paint this down. But as you can tell, it does leave streaks. So you're probably going to want to avoid this paint too. So, okay, we go into a circle. So you're probably going to want to avoid this paint as well. Now, and then in another case where a kid jumped from a 21-story window of an office building on L. Ron Hubbard's birthday and jumped. He died instantly. All these cases came from Scientology, which they were negligent. But there are that made it out alive. Okay. Now, I am going to paint the circle, so I'm going to blend. Oh, wait. I got more to actually do. So I'm going to go here. There's another flower there. So I'm going to paint that. All right. So let me try another. Paint. So remember, this probably will work out on a canvas, but it's not going to work out on a tin or glass. And when they say more, what do they mean by that? That's what it said in this box right here that's underneath this. So I'm going to use a different brush this time around. So I'm going to use let's see. Okay, you know what? I'm not going to use this brush. But let's see here. Looks like I will use this brush. Okay. Now I'm going to find a spot. Okay. Yeah, I tried to go over it and it looked like it didn't help, but I did try to cover it up, but still leaving streaks. So, and since some Scientologists made it out alive, they have reached a mental health facility and got treatment. Like in the case of Nora, she experienced trauma and it looked like Liz Ferris actually did get treatment herself, and she's on her way to nursing school. And not Nora, Natalie Webster actually stated it is of help. When I asked her in the chat, she said it was a huge help. Well, she says it was a help. All right. Okay, now. Okay, here we go. Right here. I will paint that. And I'm going to go to try painting this across. But did it help? It doesn't look like it is for a weird reason. So I'm going to continue to use that stroke going across. But did it help? Oh, didn't look like it did. So I would just say scrap, getting this and this by this company. But is there another company out there that will have a good quality? It should. Because when I was a kid and I was using stained glass, it stayed. And there were no streaks. And it actually looked like it has a color. But did it change over the years? Who knows? I'll find out and let you know. So, okay. So I'm going to go back here and paint. But does it really make a difference in the way the strokes are used? It doesn't really look like it, to be honest with you. And does Liz Gail have a mental illness? That I don't know. If she wants to keep it to herself, that's great. It is her personal life. Let's just call it that until she says something. So, and of course, Nora disclosed that she did have trauma. And who, and oh, yeah, got to talk about the situation with Aaron Smith Levin and Jenna Miscavige, the niece of David Miscavige. She did express it in the past, and she was in tears that Aaron was cheating on her, and everybody else stated that she was in an abusive relationship. But you know what? They're going to have to voice it as well. She's going to have to voice it. But as far as we know, since she did not mention it, we're going to scrap that right there. But did they have little problems in their relationship? Yeah, it looks like it. But however, it probably affects a relationship since Scientology has all those divorces when they disconnect and when they actually go off and pursue different relationships, like in case of Aaron and Jenna. So let's see here. Go across again. All right. All right. There we go. Would I say it's the best paint? Well, no, it's leaving streaks. So I'm going to have to look for another paint somewhere else. So, all right. And I have one place that I have in mind. So, okay, now I'm going to find another square. Oh, and here's another one. Well, I'm going to have to fix this one anyway. So I'm going to go across like this, like I did the other ones. Go up with this one. But does it really help? I don't think so. It doesn't help. So it looks like they're going to have to work hard on another material. So, and of course, in the future, are they able to keep a job? You know what? With Scientology around, no, because they make people lose their jobs. They manage to get into a manager's head and mess with it. And of course, they would lose their job. In the case of not Nora's, Laura's case, where she would have ended up on the street if it wasn't for your kind generosity in donating your hard-earned money for her just so she can pay her own bills. But is it tax exempt or have a 501? That's from PayPal. Maybe they do because, corporations would probably use a 501. So, all right. I used that for that one. And of course, it looks like I didn't paint this yet. So, guess what? I'm going to paint it and see how it turns out. And of course, Cubs fan had a discussion with his employment and told him the situation. And they are keeping an eye on it. And does he still have his job? I would think so, since he did discuss it with his employer. And this movement has really did make a difference because now people are aware of their abusive practices. And it can actually affect another person's mental health status. Now, it would affect me profoundly if I was to go through something like that. But guess what? Since I have mental health care and avoided all the cults, I had a better chance and I triumphed so far, and I'm going to keep going. Now, do I go to church? Well, sometimes I do on special occasions. Am I going to go on Mother's Day in honor of my mother? Yes, because she was a devout Christian. She even believed that evolution did not exist and there was no cave people. God put them on this earth. But scientists prove that it did happen. So they had no choice but to go along with it. And they did it in their own version, which is, you guessed it, Adam and Eve. So we're going to go right here. Where is it? Oh, yeah, here it is. So I'm going to paint this one right here. Now, one of these days, I will see if I can muster up a healthcare provider and see if they would like to interview. So hang in there, but still, I have to do my other project with the animal shelter. Now, in the Aaron, and at the end, if a person leaves Scientology and seek mental health care, they will improve, but they're going to have to want to stay there as well. So that's what happens behind the scenes of Scientology and their mental health and the members' mental health status. Now, going from there to what we've been talking about all week long was Aaron Smith Levin's court case. Now, did Scientology have influence on the justice system in the courtroom at his trial? Looks like it, because it stinks of Scientology. Because the entire time, according to Farrell Cheryl, she has a real last name, I just don't remember it. She's going by that screen name of Farrell Cheryl. I'm going by my stage name and screen name, Tor, but I am revealing my first name. So far, do I see Scientology outside my door or in my house? No. I'm going to keep it that way. And am I going to protest at this moment? No. Unless I'm in a huge group that takes several cars, and it has to be between 500 and 1,000 or more. So, and I protested before? Yes. I protested for grass, which they take a pipe and shove food down a duck's throat, like they did in Lisa McPherson's case, and fatten them up. Then they take the liver, tear it out, fry it. That was the issue that I was protesting. Now, I have gotten in touch with PETA about the Scientology situation. I haven't heard back from them yet. Okay. Now, where was I? Oh, boy, where was that thing? Oh, here it is. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's gonna go well with this paint, so try this going down. Yeah, it doesn't, it's a little bit better than this paint where you see right through it. But oops, got to put live chat. So sorry, everybody. And there we go. So hop onto my chat, everybody. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to work out on this case. Now, did the paints go worse over the years? You know what? I have to check out almost all of them. And if they have, well, then not a good quote. Now, in the Aaron Smith case, it looks like it does stink of Scientology by paying off. It looks like they paid off the judge because, according to Farrah Cheryl, she was treating Aaron like a child. And he even tried to be cordial to her. But it didn't help. She kept yelling at him like he was a 5-year-old child. So, but in his first trial, he won that. But then in the second trial, it just went even. It looked like it went worse. Okay. Now, is there another? Okay, that's a leaf. That looks like a leaf. So I have to go over on what's there. Okay, and then I'll go to these two and mix it with the white. That's not white. Where is my white? No, no. Well, what do you think? I'm missing my white. Okay, so I'll do that in a sec. Oh, here we go. I found one right here, although I can't get to it, but well, you know what? I'll just go here anyway. And I'm going to go here, try to avoid the other paints. Go up. And as you know, Aaron lost his case. She practically boxed Aaron in, according to Farrah Cheryl and I think it's Bob, well, her fiance. They stated that he didn't have much to say because she actually boxed him in. And then at the same time, she was messing with the jury. So, and of course, she sent them away to deliberate. But it just looks like that they were thinking, oh my gosh, she's yelling at us and there's not enough to go by. Because I think she was being unreasonable, and the smart ones would realize that. Okay. And it looks like it's one big mess due to Scientology. And law enforcement did not help because one of the police officers actually called Aaron's lawyer and said if he files the complaint, he will be charged. That would be illegal because it stink of Scientology. I'm sorry to say, if the Clearwater police actually did their job, there wouldn't be an empty town. They just let it go empty. and that entire place is a ghost town. So there wouldn't be anybody downtown unless there's a special event or the holidays. Otherwise, it's going to sit empty. I constantly go back, look at it, empty, 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 empty. And I got two new subscribers. And thank you. But you know what? I don't really do a members only video because I want everybody to actually watch all my videos. So I feel weird about doing a members only video. Not because I'm slow and can't find it. I haven't even tried. And I did see something, but I'm thinking, you know what? I'd rather have everybody come. But you know what? Keep subscribing. You don't know what you're going to get out of. So, okay. Maybe you'll get something out of it in the future. But keep subscribing out of the kindness of your heart. And if you want to donate to my channel to keep it going, go right ahead. So far, it's going well. Thank you. So it's going well because I have 24,000. Last time I checked, 24,393 views altogether. The only thing is, YouTube doesn't think it's a watch hour. So, there we go. So, I have 17 views altogether. 17 watch hours, 17 hours of watch. So, okay. Let's see here. All right. It looks like at the moment, okay, let's see here. All right. This looks like a flower because at the bottom, it looks like oh, no, okay. It's a flower. Now, is there more at the bottom? Let me check. Okay. This looks like a flower upside down and it looked like it broke. So we'll fix that. So we're going to start painting this. So it looks like a crowded flower. So we're going to paint that. All right. Are they going to actually file that appeal? I don't know. And not only OSA had their hand in the judge, it looked like they're actually use their own members to lie. Now, Pat Harney did not take the stand. And Bob, I think that was his name. Looks like I got my name mixed up. So, said, and Andrew is the guy that actually banged Darren's foot. And that was what the complaint he was going to file file charges that he was going to file. But Scientology beat him to it. And they managed to press charges against Aaron instead of Andrew. That was the guy that filed false charges against him. And I think it was him. They said that he said, I quote, "I'm a Christian Scientologist." Is it a lie? Cheryl thinks so, but according to Scientology, you cannot be behind the scenes. You cannot be a Christian or a Scientologist or a Buddhist or a Scientologist or Muslim and a Scientologist at all. So he was up on a stand lying, and there's the influence right there. Okay. Okay, back to this. All right. Let's see if I can. Oh. All right. So it looks like I'm going to have to go down here. Yeah, it's just leaving streaks. So it looks like I'm going to have to find another good quality paint. This company looks like doesn't have the good quality that I'm looking for in a paint. And okay. Yeah, it's not working out with this. I have to go back and go over that. All right, I guess that's the only one. Although that's a leaf. Okay. This looks like a flower blooming, so I'm going to go here and actually start painting. So there we go. Now, painting on glass with parent supervision is fun for a kid to paint for their mommies on Mother's Day. So, grandparents or other relatives, schools, this is the funnest project that a child can do. So, even though they can't sit in front of this because it's not for a child, but in somewhere in the future, I'm going to come up with a child's video. Am I going to bear it with the same name as Human Animal Audit Corner? Maybe, but I'm going to change it to Child Animal Audit Corner, looks like. And have a kinder, more gentler for children. And it's going to have charity. What charity they're going to have, but it's far in the future. So I'm too preoccupied with this. So we're going to wait. All right. Now, let's see if I can find another. Yeah, oh boy. Yeah, this paint really leaves streaks. So I'm going to go back here. It sees through a little, but it has more streaks. All right. Okay. Okay. There we go. So, does this paint work? No. Okay. Now, okay. Thank you, everybody, for popping in and out. And some of you stuck around longer than others, but that's okay. So, all right. And guess what, everybody? I got bad news. I have to get rid of my introduction because somebody's claiming copyright. So I'm going to have to see what's going on with that. It could be a regular person saying, you know what, I already have this. Or it could be Scientology messing with my head. So we'll find out. Okay. Maybe I'll work on this one. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, I hate using blobs of paint because it's not as see-through as the other one, but it leaves streaks. So, all right, so I'm going to go back up here with this one. Go up. And it's just awful. And there are lawyers that are jumping in. Everybody is supporting Aaron. And it looks like lawyers are giving their input too, because all of them are there. Is mine? No, I don't think she's aware of it. I haven't really told her anything yet. So, and okay. Okay. Now, there we go. All right. And let's see. Is there going to be an appeal? I think there will be, because he did not get a fair trial. That woman was treating Aaron like he was a child the entire time. And then when the verdict came in, she could have cared less. She just, according to Farrah, she just tossed it to the bailiff. I think Scientology knew that they could influence this judge. So that's the talk of the hour. Some people like him, some people don't, but even the ones that don't like Aaron saying he did not get a fair trial because guess what? Scientology was working behind the scenes. And it looks like they paid the police officer that filed charges against him. It stinks of Scientology. And it's behind that curtain. And that's what they use their tax exempt status for. And they also use it to buy hotels. But that's another story. And of course, after this story, I am after the next story, which is cults versus witchcraft. That's my next one. So, you know what? I'm not done with it yet because my mind's in one place to another. And then I got distracted by the Aaron Smith Levin situation. But I will get it done sometimes next week. So, okay. I am, looks like I am an hour and 50 minutes in. Okay, now I'm going to go to the green paints. Okay. And I'm thinking, you know what? Is it the same color? I am going to find out. Is it actually rinsing good too? Let's see here. I got somewhat of a white and gray color water. So, all right, there we go. All right, so take this up, put this back in. And when you paint, try not to leave it in the water because it'll bend and you're going to have the hard time getting your bristles back to its original form. So keep it in this form. I've done that to my other brushes and it didn't help. It just curved. So, all right, put this away. And now I'm going to start on the green. But first, I'm going to go to this. Or is this the, yeah, this is not that version. So, yeah, that's the Halloween edition. You could just take any magazine, put it in a vase, or a small object like this, cut it out, put it in, paint it. And you can use this side for Mother's Day. All your grandparents, relatives, and schools. All you schools, you can use, teachers and principals, you can actually use this for a project in your schools. Well, actually, it's from ages of three to 10. I don't think teenagers want to do something like this, or maybe some do. But however, this would make an excellent project. So, come on, all of you hop into my chat. And I forgot to put, do you think Aaron Smith Levin? Why didn't it pop up? Oh, well. All right. Now, do you think Aaron Smith deserved the verdict that he get? Voice your opinion. It's somewhere there around. I should have put it in. So I'll put it in. Well, I think it's in today's kitchen segment. I will stop my stream at 6. So if you're hungry and start, we're gonna work up something in the kitchen. So, all right, now I'm gonna actually, let's see here. I need that smaller brush. It's not that. Let's see if I can find that smaller brush. Ah, here it is. Or I'll use this one. Okay. All right. So before I check out, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to use all of the colors. So here we go. So I'm going to use the green. All right. So it doesn't look like this is going to show. So I got to paint this again. All right. And then I'm going to go up here, paint it. It's just a real shoddy color. So I should do better. There is a better quality paint somewhere out there, and I will find it. So hang in there. All right. Now I'm going to go here. Paint up. Now, and it's also clear that in Aaron Smith Levin's case, that this woman did not like Aaron at all. Is she being paid off? Yes. Is she taking Scientology's side? Yes. She is biased against Aaron. So, and of course, we all know law enforcement is not doing their job in Clearwater, because if they did, the downtown area would not be empty. So, is there corruption in some of the police department? I think so. We have the tendency of getting really disappointed with the ones that are corrupt, because they're not serving our best interests. We all know that. And we are just looking up to figures like them for help when we need it, and questions if we want to ask them about the law. Well, they only enforce the law, but it looks like you either have to go to your lawyer, or looks like to the state and ask them, or Google it. They only enforce the law, so everybody looks upon them for help. And then when they do that, they don't really help at all, but the good ones will. I mean, I think 95% of the time they will help. It's just those law enforcement officers are not is doing a shoddy job because of Scientology. And some of them actually think they're getting a cushy job, like the LAPD situation in Becky's last year. Or was it 2 years? The years are just going by fast, but it looks like a year ago. But however, those police officers were sitting on their fat ass, well, skinny, fat, whatever, on their asses and only walked to the door, and the pedophile was there, and she was terrified. So, and the other ones in a group didn't really care. They floated off in somewhere else. And I'm sorry, why work in another police department? Well, they have a cushy job there. So, all right. Now we're going to go to this one right here. Pay down. All right. Yeah, there it is. So, yeah, not a good quality paint. So I'm just going to paint over the ones that doesn't look like it's a good quality paint. The other one, at least you can tell it's a color, but with this, nah. And it's the same company that paints this. All right. Yeah, this one, leaf streaks. All righty. So let's see what other ones need. Okay, here's another one right there, see-through. So we're going to do this. Paint over this. Let's go now. I'm actually going to be careful so it doesn't go outside the line. I'll wipe it off. Yeah, it just looks like Scientology is always messing with law enforcement. And then law enforcement is just going along with it. There's the FBI that won't do anything, and they told Mark and Claire, well, there's nothing significant and doable. And there was evidence, Mark and Claire, and the witnesses that were tortured and made their mental health situation even more worse. And they also using child labor, which is also against the law. So, and those children should be in school, not working. All right. go down with this. And in London, at least they have laws to protect every single person. And they actually, it looks like their laws are doable according to their constitution. So they're finding ways to make laws, but guess what? And they did hold Scientology light. But here in the States, they did some things because guess what? Anthony DeMond Jr. is in jail. Did he have a trial? That I haven't checked on, but he was in jail. And there are two women that stole money and donated it. But then Scientology found out through law enforcement that they stole it. They gave it back because I think she got caught, but they didn't want to hold it. And they don't want anybody to actually charge them from a crime. So they gave it back. Yeah. Are they smart? Well, no, because guess what? There are cameras around now. So, all right. Okay. So I'm going to try this one again. Now, I took my work down. Did I take them all down? I didn't actually even see it. So I'm going to have to check it, but I took one of my pieces down. Not going to sell it. I pulled it off their market because I didn't really think 89 cents was worth it and it wasn't a profit. So took it off that site. Now, is there more? I'm going to check on that. I mean, so far as I remember, I did post it, but couldn't find it. But once I find it, I'm going to delete it. Taking all my products right off the market. And I actually did have two offers, but it doesn't help me. I would have made, let's see. I would have made $1.79. That's not a profit there, so I have to take it off the market. Even so. All right. Okay. Gonna paint this again. Yeah. Art therapy is really relaxing. And if you do a craft, it's relaxing. But you also need that mental health care for you to order to lead a little bit of a normal life. I mean, I do have mental illness and I'm managing everything through medication and try to manage my moods. Sometimes I got good days and I got bad days. That's what my medication's for. It's to manage my symptoms. So now this could work for you, but if you don't want it, nobody's going to make you get it. But I say you have a better shot if you take meds. Now, as you know, Fabio Lugli needs medical attention. His parents are looking for him. They're worried sick. So, please, if you find Flavio Hugli, tell him that his parents are looking for him. Lugli, excuse me. And that his parents are looking for him and that he needs his treatment. He cannot audit anything away. And it doesn't work because guess what? It's no science. And okay. All right. Okay, I'm going to go over this one more time. All righty, there we go. So there it is. And this one seeps through, so we have to go through this. Oh, jeez. Yeah. You know what? I'm actually going to find time to actually finish this so I can actually go on to the next project. And I haven't got, I should get to my other stories and my minor law corner as well. So I'm still working on the animal shelter. Okay. And going on location. Okay. All right, here we go. Find another spot that I have to use. The fact it's a shoddy color, you can't even tell it's a green. You can see right through it. All right. Now, is this the most best quality paint? No, it isn't. The quality is so shoddy. Go. All right. All right. Gonna do this. All right. Is this helping? Right. And there's another one here. And And this is not a good quality paint. So I don't recommend it for any of the artists. And the other ones, it leaves streaks. So, okay, here we go. All right. Okay. There. All righty. Now let's see, is there another area? I'm going to really look first. This one right here. Whew. All right. This is what I covered so far. All right. Now, does Scientology actually help the mental illness? No, they don't. It isn't. All right. As soon as I do the other green, I am checking out. Because, yeah, maybe I should actually do one color. And if I have time, do another color. Because I will be wasting paint if I continue this. So, yeah. So all you artists, don't get this paint. Too shoddy. All right. There we go. Okay. There's another one. All right, go down here. Paint this again. There we go. And then I'm going to go here, paint that. And then while I'm using this box, I'll find something else to hold it up with. And use that. Okay. Now I'm going to take the paint. Take that paint. Finish it by going over some of these paints. All right. And then I'm going to call it a day. And then I'm going to see you later on in my kitchen. So I'm going to give it another. Yeah. Another 8 minutes. By then I should be done. All right. And thank you, everybody, for coming into my channel. And I know you come here for my artwork. I appreciate it. So, and my cooking, yeah, I succeed about 55% of the time, but the other half, okay. But you sort of take the chances if you don't try it out ahead of time. But also, in one of the videos, the guy says that if you make errors, it would bring in more views because it's hilarious. So I'm going at that route. So, alrighty. All right. Back to this. All right. This one, I'll do one more shade. Yeah, if I continue this and the color's so shoddy, yeah, it could peel off. I'll admit that. But you know what? I am going to actually just do one more shade on this, and then that will be it, whether it's good or not. So then I'll go to the next color. Now, should I throw this brush away? It looks like it's almost had it, so it looks like I'll get there. Should I take better care of my brushes? Yeah, a little bit. It'll be better if I take care of them a little bit more. So, then I'm going to come over here, do this. Yeah. It won't work. See, you can see right through it. Oh, yes. And then I'm going to go to another area and paint this. Going down. Stroke to the end. Okay. And if you know of a better quality paint, leave it at the comments below and I'll check it out later. If you say it's a better quality paint, I'll go get that paint if it's in the market, or go to another site and check it out. Do I actually want to go to eBay? Well, you know what? We're probably going to go there anyway, but they have been complaints big time on how they treat their employees. And they are being negligent because one man died and left one baby. Oh, well, he was taking care of his fiance's children. He actually had them on his bill, and they were expecting another baby. wasn't a good situation because the only father they knew passed away and the baby now obviously around, she was pregnant at the time, obviously now around, is going without a father too. So not good. And that's an example of, I think, slave labor. I would call it that because they were being negligent. So, and are there other slave labors? Could they actually possibly make in the law? We don't expect it to, but sometimes they do. So, now is there other ones? Okay, doesn't look like it at all. Let me go over this one more time. Okay. Yeah, no. Oh, and here we go, right here. I'm going to go down, stroke by stroke by stroke. Is it going to stay? No, I don't think so. Color not coming out. So, not the best quality paint. So, there it is. Now, I did use half of it. Let's see if I can find another one. It doesn't look like I'm going to find it at this point. So, guess what? I am going to the next paint, and it's the lighter green. Yeah, I went over 2 hours. Is it dull by now? Oh, yeah. I've gone over. And it's halfway done. So I'm going to have to check out of it anyway. So let me use that green really quickly. And next time, I'm just going to use one paint. If I have time, I will use it. So let me see here. Okay. All right, here we go. All right. All right. There it is. All right. I'm going to stick around for 3 more minutes and then use it again next time. Using half the paint. All right. I'm going to go. Yeah, this isn't the best, but it's better than this one. Okay, I better stop working on that half. Now, go here. All right. I'll go over that the next time. I'm going to go over here, work on this. And outside the line a bit, so I'm going to wipe it off. All right. All right. There we go. There. All right, there we go on that one. Yes, I'm going to get a better paint than those. Where? I don't know. Okay. Okay. All right. Paint over here. Yeah. You can tell it's a color, but however, it still leaves streaks. So, and it says it can paint on steel, tin, glass, canvas. Maybe I'll go on a canvas, but it certainly can't go on a glass. Can it go on a on a on a regular glass? No way. Color, not good. So okay. All right, now I'm going to come over here, paint this. All right, you can still tell it's a color, but it's most worst work. All right. I'm going to use it one more time. Yes, I'm flooding my brush because it leaves streaks. So, all right. Now, I'm going right over here, paint it in. Is it my best work? No, because it really stinks. Should I go over it again? Yes. And I'm going to find a better quality paint next time. Okay. Over here. All right. Then I'm going to go down like this. Yeah. may look like the yellow, but it's not. All right, one more minute. Find another one. Okay, I'm not going to use that one. Okay. We'll go over here, paint this one in. We have another minute. Then I'm going to cut out and then see you for dinner in my kitchen. All right, so for now, we're going to pull this aside. And that'll do it. We cannot go on for any more longer than 1 hour. It flew by. Okay. So now, today I brought you the story on mental health behind the scenes of Scientology and behind the Iron Curtain at the Aaron Smith Levin trial, where he was being charged with assault, which was not a very good charge, to tell you the truth. And Scientology was working behind the scenes of paying off everybody in that courtroom and in law enforcement. Oops. Yeah. So, however, I'm still working on Buy Me a Coffee. And for now, if you want to donate to my channel, go to PayPal. And I'm leaving you in control. I'm not going to even tell you amount. You want to leave me $1, go right ahead. So, hit the like, press subscribe. Come on, hit the subscribe button and hit the like. And I'll see you later on, 6 o'clock in my kitchen, April 17th, 2026. See you then.